Hello and welcome. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Kirsty Lang. I'm a presenter on Radio 4's arts programme Front Row, but I'm here today as your host for the 2015 Bruntwood Prize for Playwriting. We're also, of course, celebrating the prize's 10th birthday today, a prize which came about through, yes, hooray, through a very special collaboration between this theatre and the Manchester property company Bruntwood. Entries for the 2015 Bruntwood Prize opened on the 30th of January, and by the deadline of the 5th of June, there had been 1,938 scripts submitted. That's nearly 2,000 plays from all corners of the British Isles and Ireland. Now, over the last 6 months, a very dedicated collection of 92 readers, including previous winners, directors, dramaturgs, critics, designers, actors, and agents have been ploughing through those nearly 2,000 plays, reading them, taking each script through a rigorous process in order to come up with our final shortlist of 10 remarkable plays. And of course, one thing that's very important, I think, about this prize is that all of those entries are submitted anonymously, with no name on it. You have to give an email address. Quite a lot of the writers make up pseudonyms. Just to give you an example, 2 of the shortlisted scripts this year were submitted by Droopy Tutu and Penelope Pitstop. Didn't put the judges off. Today is the first time that the true identities of those playwrights will be revealed. Now, this award ceremony is a chance to introduce you to all those 10 plays which made this year's shortlist. So what we're going to see is a short extract from each of them performed here, and also a short film in which each of the writers introduce their work. The award ceremony is also being live streamed through the Writer Play website, so welcome to, where's the camera, everybody who has joined us online. The judging panel for the prize this year was chaired by the former artistic director of the National Theatre, Nick Heitner. He was also a judge for the very first round of the prize in 2006, and we're very delighted to welcome him back. He's going to be announcing the first prize winner, who will receive £16,000, which for a lot of our previous winners has been utterly life-changing, enabling them to sometimes give up jobs and devote themselves to writing. All of the winning plays will be developed by the Royal Exchange with a view to production. And this, of course, quite apart from the money, is actually probably one of the biggest things about this prize, actually getting to see your play on stage. But without further ado, let me introduce Sarah Frankham, who is the Artistic Director of the Royal Exchange Theatre, for a brief welcome.
I'm delighted to welcome you all this afternoon to the Royal Exchange Theatre and the announcement of the winners of the 2015 Bruntwood Prize for Playwriting. It's a really exciting day for us all here because we're celebrating 10 years of a quite remarkable prize and the far-reaching legacy of its work. And at its heart, the Bruntwood Prize for Playwriting focuses on collaboration and partnership. From really small beginnings, it's now the biggest award committed to new plays in the UK. And since its inception in 2005, 17 playwrights have been awarded a total of £160,000. There have been 16 full productions in over 28 cities, and more than 150,000 people have seen a Bruntwood Prize-winning play. The root of this success has been our close relationship with Bruntwood as a partner and a shared desire to discover new talent and support playwrights. I'm delighted that our relationship with Bruntwood and Mike Oglesby in particular continues to grow and flourish. Thank you, Mike, for all your passion and vision. This simply wouldn't be happening if it hadn't been for you. I'd also like to thank Nick Hearn Books, who share one of the key aims of the prize, which is to open up playwriting to as many people as possible and enable the winning plays to have a far wider reach beyond their productions. This partnership and support for the prize is really invaluable. And we've also forged a number of new partnerships this year, and we're delighted to be working with the Kenyon Institute in Ohio, Banff in Canada, and the National Theatre Studio to support the development of the playwrights beyond winning the prize. So the Bruntwood Prize is open to anyone, and it's a truly democratic nationwide search. And this year, we've been able to reach and support playwrights like never before through a series of live-streamed workshops with some of the UK's most respected theatre artists, including Simon Stevens, this year's judge, Bryony Lavery, and a previous winner, Anna Jordan. And these workshops were watched live by nearly 1,000 people and have subsequently had an international reach and been watched by playwrights in Australia, the United States, Singapore, China, Germany, Russia. The gesture of completing a play and entering it into the prize is a brave act. And I think it's really important to recognise the mammoth achievement of nearly 2,000 people who submitted their work this year. It makes me really excited for the future. Playwriting is alive and well and remains at the heart of the theatrical landscape and people's creative lives. I'd also really like to thank our distinguished panel of judges, Vivian Fransman, a previous winner, Ramin Gray, Bryony Lavery, Miria Sayal, Miranda Sawyer and Mike Oglesby. Thank you all for your time, expertise, enthusiasm in helping us decide this year's winners. And I also feel really incredibly fortunate that in our 10th anniversary year, we have Nick Heitner, one of the original judges in 2005, to return to chair this year's panel. In a year that has seen the most diverse and daring subjects tackled, there's clearly an urgency in what it means to create stories for our stages, engage with audiences, and share experiences of the world we're living in now. There is a potent immediacy in the writing and true sense of the potential of the collaborations that can happen in making theatre. The Bruntwood Prize provides a crystal clear snapshot of who we are, our fears and dreams, our hopes and aspirations, and the way in which theatre offers a unique platform through which to share our stories. All great plays were new plays once, and if we don't nurture, produce and celebrate new work, we can't invigorate the existing repertoire. We're all about to be introduced to a new set of plays that encapsulate and describe the ambition of the future of this competition. So whoever you are, I'd like to congratulate these shortlisted playwrights on their achievements. And now let's find out about them. Thank you.
Well, just before we see these extracts, one of the things that we're celebrating today is that in just 10 years, the Bruntwood Prize has become Britain's biggest playwriting competition, and it's had this incredible impact on the landscape of British theatre, because it's created this legacy of new playwrights who've gone on to forge hugely successful careers. So we've got a short film now which is looking at that legacy.
Our 10th year of running the project. From what was a relatively small beginning, this has really grown into something that's major, significant.
It's an absolutely brilliant prize, the only prize of its sort.
Everywhere I go, talking to theatre people, everybody not just knows about the prize, but everybody's very enthusiastic about the prize.
Manchester is not just geographically central to the UK, but it has always been culturally central. And with the extraordinary explosion of cultural activity over the last 10, 20 years, it feels that those who decided in the first place that it should be based in Manchester were being prophetic.
Manchester, for me, and I'm biased, is the greatest cultural city in this country that inspires people like me who have a little bit of creative talent to add to that kind of cauldron, that melting pot of culture.
Because of the anonymity that it affords the writer, that anybody could submit work. And I think it's quite interesting to see the sorts of people who have won it over the last couple of years.
Absolutely one of the best moments of my life, because it made me understand that other people really valued my work
it meant that I can take myself a bit more seriously. It's like a massive vote of confidence from people that you really respect, that they think, they read your work and they sort of give you a vote of confidence and say, I think there's something in this, you can do this. And that's huge for a starting writer.
Yeah, the longer term impact on my career has been huge really. It was a play that I wrote that was very personal to me.
I think it was sort of a pivotal experience in my writing career.
Prize totally changed my career and kick-started me as a writer.
It was the Bruntwood really that, it was just incredible in terms of moving my career forward, and now that's opened up a lot of really exciting opportunities, and I had 2 productions in London at the same time.
It allowed me to give up my day job. I was working in a club for 3 years on the door.
Well, it changed my life really, and it launched my career, and a lot of doors were open to me.
It was only when Bruntwood kicked off that I managed to kind of take the next step and become a published and performing playwright.
It was a lump of money which kind of gave me some breathing room, which meant I could go full-time as a writer, and I've been full-time, ever since.
It's very exciting and encouraging that a lot of the playwrights that have kind of come through as winners are now sort of shaping and changing the landscape of British theatre.
Feels like they're looking for someone to say something about the world that isn't being said anywhere else.
The riches that it's delivered have been absolutely remarkable.
Amazing, seeing all those names and realising, actually, for myself, just looking at seeing how many of their plays I've seen and didn't even realise they'd come up through this prize. So, who's going to be joining them now? Let's start with our very first extract today. The Welsh playwright Alan Harris introduces us to an unlikely friendship in How My Light Is Spent.
How My Light Is Spent is about a man called Jimmy. He'd lost his job in a factory in South Wales and then found employment in a drive-through donut restaurant in Newport. And during the play he loses his job there as well. And at the same time he's fallen in love with a phone sex worker, Kitty. So he's a man really who's trying to kind of grasp hold of his place in society, and he doesn't quite know where he belongs anymore. But that becomes really, really difficult for him because he starts to disappear. Being unemployed in the UK today has become kind of demonised. It's about somebody that is struggling to find their place in the world and in society, and I think that's difficult for a lot of people at the moment.
They met at a cafe on Commercial Street that sold everything for 50p, no matter what you had. My name is Shelley.
No, it's not. Your name is Kitty. I recognise your voice.
Oh!
Jimmy had done so for certain as soon as she had ordered an eclair.
This had never happened to Kitty before.
Or is your name really Shelley? Suppose it is. Kitty does sound a bit fake.
But she had gone into the phone sex business using her real name, Kitty. A mistake for a novice, but... no. My name is really Kitty.
It's you.
In the flesh.
Say something.
What?
Go on, say something.
Would you like to come on my tits? Yes, you would, you dirty boy.
Fantastic.
Kitty had the inability to say anything quietly, so the 50p cafe was all ears after that.
Can't believe it.
I know. Am I how you imagined?
She didn't look like Jimmy had imagined.
Nor him to her.
But she was pleasant looking. Shortish, darkish, a floral skirt with tights.
Jimmy's tonus marked him out a bit, in a good way. He was no spring chicken, but still he had freckles and sort of a bowl-shaped haircut.
Jimmy's hair, in fact, was cut regularly by Rita, using a bowl.
Her mixing bowl.
There followed a 43-second gap, where Jimmy and Kitty took sips of tea and... So why do you do it?
What? Phone sex?
Well...
Money?
Right. Thought it would be.
Pure and simple.
And then you give it away again, at the drive-through.
Yeah, only a little.
Right. Is that some kind of guilt thing?
This was actually funny to Kitty. I just thought I'd see if I could be altruistic.
What?
Well, it's when you do something without any reward.
I know what it is.
He wasn't sure, but I'd let her explain just enough before interrupting.
So, can you be, you know, the whole cafe wanted to know. What's the answer?
To what?
Can people be altruistic?
Well, I don't know yet.
What's your best guess?
I think it's tricky. See, at the moment, I'm leaning towards the theory that everything we do is linked to sex. Every action we do leads to sex.
Do you want another 50p tea or a 50p slice of cake?
Or you think I can be bought with a beverage and a bun?
Even though it was said in jest, the word bought had created a funny atmosphere between them.
Kitty thought the conversation had turned a bit odd and maybe this was a bad idea. And anyway, it's all part of my research. The altruism and the sex industry, I suppose.
You're writing a book?
No. Soon, I'm going to give it up. Retrain as a psychologist is what I've always wanted to be. And anyway, that's a way to really help people.
Sounds pricey.
Again, the mention of money had a strange effect. What do you want, Jimmy?
The safest answer he could come up with was, I'd like to take up gardening.
Oh, I don't know.
Your garden.
Wise horse.
The next play on our shortlist looks at the complexities around the treatment of mental illness in young people. In Kendall Fever's The Almighty Sometimes.
So the play is about a young woman called Anna, who was diagnosed at 8 years old with a range of mood and behavioural disorders, including bipolar. After 13 years of being on a cocktail of drugs, Anna starts to think that maybe her mother was too quick to medicate, and I found this article in which a reporter is interviewing a psychiatrist and makes a very blunt statement regarding how horrible it is that modern psychiatry isn't allowing our youth to develop naturally. The psychiatrist throws back this incredible answer. She said, "You try explaining the noble beauty of suffering to a suicidal 6-year-old." And I thought far more interesting than a play about medication was a play about a mother desperate to keep her child alive. A parent and child can have experienced exactly the same thing, and yet their recollection will be so different. And then the play becomes about having to navigate that monumental gap that occurs between two understandings of the same event.
I've been stable for a long time now.
You have, yes.
And nothing bad has happened during that time.
Nothing too alarming.
And I'm not a child anymore.
No, you're not.
So
Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about this.
You have?
Well, technically, you shouldn't be seeing me anymore.
I didn't think so either.
You're 21 years old. I'm a juvenile psychiatrist.
Yes! Oh, that is my point exactly.
You should be seeing Dr. Bolton now.
Dr. Bolton?
Do you know who he is?
Chubby guy, no hair, perfect skin.
He's also an excellent adult psychiatrist.
He looks like a giant fetus.
Is that an issue for you?
Yes.
I can refer you to someone less embryonic if you like.
No.
So you'll see Dr.
I don't want to see anyone. Sorry. I thought that you... I thought you were going to tell me I didn't need it anymore.
Why would you think that?
I've been on it for 13 years. Surely it's worked by now.
You have an illness, Anna.
Yeah, and if an illness doesn't kill you, it's supposed to go away.
Not this one.
So it's a life sentence?
It's an illness.
When I am 30 years old, when I'm 40, when I'm celebrating my first and only centenary, I'm still going to be popping pills?
If you don't want to regress, I suggest you stay on them, yes.
But I'm older now. I'm stronger. How do you know I haven't sorted out some kind of like natural equilibrium all on my own? We can just try it just for a bit.
No, Anna.
We'll do it for science. Test the hypothesis. Hey, you can write a paper on me if you like, I don't mind.
Anna.
You can't stop me, you know. If I wanted to, I could just stop taking it.
I want you to listen to me and listen very carefully. That medication has been in your body for 13 years. Your body has adapted to that, has learned to process it, and most importantly, has learned to expect it. If you come off those pills now, just like any drug, it will wreak havoc on your system. You won't just regress, Anna, you'll plummet. Your symptoms will come back stronger and meaner than before, and then you'll come to me and beg me to do something about it. The issue is, we'll have to start all over again. New drugs, new combinations, because we'll be treating a whole new manifestation of this illness. And once we land on the right combination, even then, it could be a good 4 months before we reach a dosage high enough to have the proper effect. Do you really want to go through all that again? Now, would you like to see Dr. Bolton or not?
Not.
The next play, Simon Longman's Rails, introduces us to 3 young people trying to keep up as life whizzes past their remote satellite town.
I kind of wrote it for myself because I just wanted to tell a story about the town where I grew up, and just thought, if it's open to anyone, why not try and have a go and see what happens. I grew up quite far away from kind of the urban sprawl. Satellite towns basically stop, and then you just have countryside and these pockets of towns which are like islands. It felt like the speed at which cars were going past the town and all the trains passing through it, it just felt that no one was really stopping and having a look around about what was going on there. It was just inspired by kind of thinking about what could potentially happen in a space like that, when characters are looking at the world and looking at the fields outside their door and thinking, I potentially feel a bit left behind. If you don't have many friends and it's summer and it's hot and you feel obliged to be outside, maybe playing around, and you don't have that, it's kind of about what can happen when, that doesn't exist and you feel lonely and you feel like you need a friend. That person can kind of open up truths in you that you didn't know about yourself.
So much. Fucking. I'll try and stand up, but it hurts more than anything in the whole entire universe. Fuck, this hurts. God, I'm still crying a bit. My scooter's got a massive scratch in it. One of its blue wheels has a load of dust on it. It's just not sparkling as much anymore. I hear the door open and close. My brother walks over to his car. He gets in his car and drives off fast without looking at me. I sit on the tarmac. Oh, God, it's so hot. I put my hands down on it. It's so hot it burns them, but I can't move because my knee hurts so much. I just stare at next door's front door. It's bright red. Well, it looks pink now because it's faded in the sun. It looks well shit. My knees stop bleeding now. I reach out to get my scooter. I look at the scratch. I nearly cry. It's so fucking big. It's like torn into the metal. It looks pale, white and ugly, like it's getting a disease. Lick at my thumb and rub at it a bit, but it does nothing. I'm so annoyed. I'm so fucking angry at myself. Why did I try and jump up the curb? I wasn't concentrating. Never attempt that trick when not fully concentrating. I tell myself that every day. I wasn't concentrating. I look over at my house in the sun. Looks like it's melting. Look at the windows. Look at the door. It's blue. My dad painted it ages ago. I helped him choose the colour. Called gunmetal blue, can remember. He liked the colour.
Weird kid over at Road's licking his scooter again. I've seen him do that before. He's weird. I've watched him go up and down a lot. I can see the road from my bedroom window. I watch him sometimes. He don't do anything else at all. He just rolls around on a scooter. He goes to a different school to me. I'm not sure what year he's in. Mine, probably. He's got long hair and he looks a bit creepy. He looks like he's planning on a school shooting. Or just spying on the girls when they're in the shower. He's still on the floor. There's blood coming from his knee and I think it's quite funny. I've never seen him with anyone else before. Bit weird, really. Curtains were always shut in his house. Weird. I turn round and I look at my bedroom and I think about how hot it is and I wish I was swimming somewhere. I want to go swimming. But there ain't anywhere to go swimming round here. So I can't. I look at the sun through my bedroom window. I stare at it until there's a spot in my eye. Don't go away for a while.
Well, next it's Parliament Square by James Fritz, which explores what protest really means and whether one person's actions can ever really make a difference.
Parliament Square is about a woman who gets up one day and leaves her family behind and travels to London to commit an act of protest, sort of very selfless act of protest in the middle of Parliament Square. And the play kind of explores her internal struggle with doing that act and then explores the fallout from that act between her and her family. We've got to this place where we sort of know more about what's going on in the world and injustices in the world, but are becoming increasingly impotent to do anything about it, or at least convincing ourselves that we're impotent and we can't do anything about it. And kind of what I want the audience to take away from the play is to really think about what an act of protest means and and kind of where the line is drawn between an act of protest and maybe something scarier, where that line between kind of complete commitment and actually kind of dangerous obsession is, and whether or not we're equipped as a society to tell that difference.
Throw the phone away.
Okay.
Well done. You should get started. Take the petrol.
The first 15 seconds.
Just 15, not long. You can count it through in your head. 15 seconds and then you won't feel anything.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I'm really fucking scared.
I'm really fucking scared.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt so much.
Only for 15 seconds.
Actually, I don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
I don't want to.
I don't want to.
I don't want to die.
I don't want to die. Fight it! You know, you could just not.
I could.
You could put the petrol can down and walk away.
I could.
Go home, kiss him, watch telly.
Yes.
Have a bath, have sex, have a lie-in, eat a lasagna, go to your daughter's school, go to your daughter's wedding.
My daughter's...
You could do all that.
My daughter. I could. I should, shouldn't I?
But you're not going to.
Yes. I am. I want to go on. Let me go on.
You don't want to.
I do. Home, home, home.
You're not turning back now.
Home, home, home. I am.
Think of how you'd feel if you turned back now. Your whole life knowing you didn't do it. You just let it happen.
It wouldn't be like that. There were other things I could do.
Not like this.
No, but...
Nothing like this. This will work.
I could. There are other things. It doesn't have to be like...
It does.
It doesn't.
It does. You decided this.
I did. I did.
You're going to do this. It's better you just accept it. Accept it.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
Good. That's good. There's no turning back now.
No. Christ, no, I'm actually going through with this.
That feels better, right?
Yeah, God, yeah, actually it does.
Yeah, God. That feels so much better. I feel so light. I feel so fucking light now you've said that. The hard part's over.
The hard part?
15 seconds. You're here. You're going to do it.
Okay, what now?
Look around.
Okay.
Breathe it in.
Okay.
Focus. What can you see?
Roads, grass, tents, the Houses of Parliament, cars. Oh my God.
What?
A memory. I came here as a kid with Mum. We stood right over there. How funny. She took a photo.
Breathe.
She took me for an ice cream. We took a boat down the river.
Breathe.
I see suits, police, Big Ben. Oh God, I can see a Tesco. I can see a fucking Tesco.
Ha! One of the last things that you'll see.
One of the last things I'll see. Isn't that just...
Not surprised.
Oh no, of course I'm not fucking surprised. Of course I'm going to see a fucking Tesco just before I...
What else?
Statues, oh God, flagpoles.
What else?
Clouds, oh God.
What else?
People. I see lots of people. Terry's face. His speech at our wedding. I see lots of people.
Looking?
Yeah, some of them are.
Okay. I think
I
it's time.
You have to do it now. Just give me one more second.
They're all really tantalising, aren't they? I want to know what happens next. Our next play, Ellie Kendrick's Tabs, delves into how we connect over the internet and asks whether that can ever replace real human interaction. Tabs.
I've been working for around about 6 years to write something about the feeling that we get when we're on the internet. And I was fascinated by the way I could feel my brain changing, my patterns of conversation changing. And I became fascinated with the idea of internet tabs, open on an internet browser, as a metaphor for the way that we are conducting our lives now and presenting ourselves. The story of tabs is, on its surface, quite a simple one. It's about a girl, a young woman, and her grandmother, and the way they interact with each other in their search for love, their expression of love to each other and towards other people. I was also really interested in simply creating a story, a simple story of the love between a young woman and a much older woman, and the kind of the comedy and warmth and tension that can come out of an intergenerational relationship like that.
Hello.
Hello. Hey,
Oh, my hand.
What? Oh, don't worry about that.
Oh, it's a noodle bar.
Yeah. Are you going to be okay?
Lovely. I'll manage.
Take a seat.
Oh, thanks. Sorry I'm a bit late.
Well, can't be helped.
Tricky place to find.
Is it?
A bit, yeah.
I've actually got another one to go to after this. Only half an hour left, just enough time for a drink.
Howdy doody. Excuse me. How you doing? Oh, good. How are you? Do you like my new dress? Oh, it's incredible. Well, thanks, Ease. Well, I made it myself today. Whacked it on and then, well, came in.
Yes. South Africa was wonderful, really wonderful. I'm sorry, I'm a bit clueless when it comes to Japanese. Do I choose or?
Yeah, sure. Let's have some prawn tamaki to start. That's good. And then maybe some ramen.
I have no idea what that is, but it sounds great.
Sure, great it is. You will be ramming it down.
Sorry?
You will be. Doesn't matter.
When you're paying for a subscription, it feels like you've got to cram them in, you know.
Make the most of it.
Get your money's worth.
Oh, so, how is the restaurant? You run a restaurant, right?
Well, not ipso facto. My job's quite niche, actually. So, yeah, it wasn't on the form. I test cat food. Sheba.
Oh. Well, if I was going to be testing cat food all day, Sheba is the one that I...
People are prejudiced about it, but it's actually a great occupation. And Sheba is pretty luxury, so it's quite tasty, really.
Do you have any cats?
Hate them. Can't stand my mother's.
I quite like them, actually. Hey, what's your favourite flavour? What's your flavour? Tell me what's your flavour.
Stop asking me.
I guess I'm just crazy like that. LOL. And not to be arrogant or anything, but it's the first dress I've made and I think I've done a good job. No, it's a feat. I don't really wear dresses myself. Flame don't wear dresses either. I think that's hot in women. It's more just like a comfort thing, you know. I want to be able to open my legs without... Oh, I can open my legs all right. Shall we put our skates on? Yeah, let's go in. No, you have to put them here in the lobby area. For the bar? What? It's a roller bar. Did I tell you? Oopsies!
Really quite extraordinary. I mean, for the fauna alone, packed with wonderful creatures. And when it comes to tourist attractions, there's nothing quite like a mating hippopotamus. Huh?
Chicken and rice, yeah, definitely my favourite. The cat's favourite too. I've learned not to try and second guess them. You'd never have thought a cat would enjoy rice, but they just love it, in moderation, of course.
Amazing. I wonder who first made that discovery.
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, top secret, is it?
I just don't know the answer.
What's the matter? Can we go somewhere else? Don't be a party pooper. I'd fall over. Yeah, well, everyone falls over a bit. No, but I can't. What do you mean, you can't? I'll look somewhere up. There's nowhere else round here, so come on. Sorry. Nah. Boring. Don't do that. Stop being a suit. I'm not a suit. I don't even wear suits. No, but it's in you, the suit. What's that supposed to mean? You've only just met me.
The next play takes place in the world's largest refugee camp in northeastern Kenya as tensions rise in preparation for a ministerial visit. Chino Adima's Wild is the Wind.
I think what sparks all my writing in some senses is my response to what I think the world is feeding me. It's just that constant talk of war and the victims of war, where we're all familiar with the language, but the images and the ways we understand that are very much constructed and decided for us. There was all this talk about these huge refugee camps. I just started to wonder what these things actually were. If you're living somewhere for years and years and years, does that make it your home? Or do you live in this constant temporary state? And what does that feel like? So it's set on a refugee camp. It's largely about the friendship between two children who find themselves living on the camp but for different reasons, and watching that friendship develop and grow in quite a beautiful way, but also all the kind of levels of corruption and adult behaviour that affects their lives, and crucially about the values of that world.
So you no see me?
I'm on duty, madam.
You help me carry this one back.
I can't. I'm on duty.
No help an old woman like this.
I'm very sorry, but I have to remain in position.
I no once heard this. You carry this one for me. Just to this place, very fast.
If you wait, I can maybe find someone else to help you, but me myself, I have to remain in position.
Oh, you see this a place. This what this a place do to human. This what this a place do to man.
No, I can try to make...
You no try. Oh, you watch an old woman die on street. You wait. Old woman. Doctor no say good things about this one.
Which doctor?
Your own doctor. Doctor.
You do not know my doctor. My doctor is back in South Africa. That is the only doctor I will trust. Here it is all amateurs and new medicines.
Your doctor works in a places by.
Lolly.
Her a good person. Her no like this one.
This has nothing to do with Dr. Jackson, all right? Now you will have to find someone else to help you, madam.
This what you say to doctor?
With respect, you don't know anything.
Every person see you. You and doctor. They say many things. How you go tell her?
Tell her what?
How you go tell her this one?
There is nothing to tell her or anyone else, all right? Now I do not have to help you.
You know, you go tell her this way then. Eh? I find this one in market today.
They do not sell things like that at the market. Now, if you have been buying things from the black market, I will find out and we will have no choice but to search your whole block.
I find it there. On God's name. This one good man, help me find a good one. Very good for this work. God work.
You should put those things away, madam. Now, I should be taking this away from you, but this time I will pretend I did not see it.
I show doctor.
Are you crazy, huh? Show her what?
So you are a crazy old woman walking around with illegal knives. Madam, I am trying very hard to be reasonable, but please do not take liberties.
You say which one you want say. You know, good man, officer. You brings a shame to doctor.
Shame? I have done nothing but try and help you. Now, if you carry on like this, I will have no choice but to stop. Now, I do not even know how to suggest this. All your talk of home and the traditional ways, was that just a trick to get me involved in your nonsense? Was it? Well, I believed you. Well, my mother always said, wherever you are, take home with you all that home means to you. Now, I thought we were talking the same thing here.
Oh, don't worry, officer. Oh, I rest now. I carry this one bag. I go home.
Thomas, you are not to show those things to Lolly. Dr. Jackson, all right? Never.
I see doctor tomorrow. I see how she be. Her a good person.
Do you hear me? Never!
The next extract is from Catherine Soper's Wish List. This is a story about two siblings struggling to make their way in a world of benefit sanctions and 0 hours contracts. It's about how to survive when you feel that the system is raged against you.
Wishlist is about a pair of siblings, Tamsin and Dean, and Tamsin has been Dean's carer for quite a while. It's never given a diagnosis in the play, but he's clearly not fit to work, but has been found fit to work. And so to hold them over while they're querying that assessment, Tamsin takes a job in a warehouse and she meets Luke there. He seems to start opening up a world of other possibilities for the way that her life could go. Wishlist at its heart is asking a lot of questions about the way we make transactions and the way we behave as consumers. It's a lot about those long chains of power or of money in some senses, that you have somebody buying something, a company making a lot of decisions, and then it going down from the top to the people at ground zero, and that's what it's really focusing on, is the people at the bottom of the pile in that sense.
There's no A5s left. He said they were going to keep them stocked up.
Oh, fucking hell. No, don't do that. They'll notice. It'll rattle around, they'll just unpack it later.
It won't let me go to the next one. What am I meant to do? Just wait?
Yeah.
Then it's going to look like I've slacked off for 5 minutes.
Oh, once they bring them, you can catch up, go faster.
Yeah, going any faster I'll make mistakes. What happens if you don't make your targets?
Well, it depends.
On what?
Don't look so serious. I think it depends on how many warnings you have. So they're not going to chuck you out as soon as you don't make your target, but there are things they do first to try to make you beat targets. I don't know. I've never had that happen to me yet. I swear this is the 5th set of strawberry lube I've packaged in 2 days. Bet they're going to the same person. Look, try not to stress out. They'll bring them.
When?
I don't know, do I? Oh, Jesus. Right, look. Right, you take over mine. I'll go and find out where they've got to, all right?
Sure. Thanks.
Bingo.
Cheers. I'm going to try and make a phone call at lunch.
Well, you won't make it back in time.
I'll run.
What, Usually I'd say, all right, maybe chance it, but you might get half a point for not packing anything while the A5s are out. If you're late back and get another half a point in one day, it's not going to look good, is it? And then if you have to call in sick, they might just fire you for having high points. Unless your phone call's like 5 seconds long, then you might make it.
They genuinely fire me?
Well, if it's in the next... How long do points last again? Like 3 months? It's your choice, but...
The next play looks at the fear of bringing up a child when the world has lost its innocence. Madra, by Francis Poet, asks if anybody can really be trusted.
Madra came from a number of different thought processes, really. On one part, the play is about parenting, and I am a mother to 2 under 5-year-olds, and so every day I'm encountering the kind of experiences that I think I fed into Madra. On one level, I was also interested in different generational approaches to child rearing. So my parents' generation had this sort of benign neglect where they had a real sense of community. They trusted their doctors, their policemen, their priests, their school teachers, and my generation have had a kind of eroding of those pillars of the community, and we are daily reading about paedophile rings and corruption at the sort of highest echelons of society. It got me to thinking about how, in trying to protect our children from sort of perceived outside dangers, we could inadvertently harm their social development. And if we're not careful, we have a generation of parents who are a more probable and bigger threat to their children than the faceless stranger that we're all so terrified of.
Right, well, I'll be off then. Getting cold sitting here. Where's my big boy?
Night, Mum. Thank you.
Good night, Maddie. You look beautiful.
Thank you, Morgan. Tonight's done me a lot of good. I really appreciate it. Oh, did he not eat his tea?
Oh, I decided to take him out for a treat. We went to that cafe in your big supermarket down the road.
What did he have?
Oh, you be cross with me.
Of course I won't.
She will.
Rory, what did he have?
Pizza, with a side order of mixed vegetables.
Mixed vegetables is good.
But he only ate the pizza.
Right.
In fact, he picked the cheese off the pizza and he left the rest, and then he had jelly and ice cream, and then just as we were leaving, he spotted a chocolate rabbit, so he had that as well.
At tea time. Women. No wonder he was high as a kite at bedtime.
Oh, I'm sorry about the pizza. I was trying to persuade him to go for the fish fingers, but it all got a bit panicked in the queue.
How come?
I needed a wee just as I was about to pay, and I'd got the tray with the meals and the drinks on, and suddenly he's desperate, and I thought, oh my God, what do I do now? How do I get out of this muddle? But fortunately, a nice man in the queue behind offered to take him, and he hadn't chosen his meal yet, so I took his empty tray, and he took Joshua for a wee. What? Joshua was so excited he got to go to the boys' toilets and not to the ladies with me.
Yeah. Have you heard this?
Which man?
Well, just a man behind us. You know, probably a dad himself, just a nice, kind man. What's wrong?
I don't know.
All right, calm down.
What have I said?
I think Maddie's just worried that you let a man we don't know...
A stranger.
A stranger take Joshua.
A newly potty-trained 3-year-old.
Yes, thank you, Maddie.
Joshua was fine. He didn't have an accident or anything. His pants and his trousers were dry, so the man must have helped him.
Oh, God.
Well, and he definitely washed his hands because I checked when they came back.
Rory!
Yeah, Mum, we don't care about whether Joshua washed his hands. I mean, we do, but who was the man?
Well, he was just a man. He was just a nice man.
A total stranger.
Joshua was fine. He gobbled up his dinner, giggling and laughing.
I'm going to wake him.
Don't wake him.
Look, I'm sorry if I've got it wrong. was all a bit of a panic. I had 2 trays with his meal and my meal and drinks, and I'd got me wallet out to pay, and, well, you know what he's like. If he needs to go, you can't hang around.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to wake him.
Please don't!
Why is this guy offering to take a 3-year-old to the toilet?
I don't know.
Well, I think he was just a dad, used to it.
Did he have kids with him?
No, but you know, he might have been separated from his wife or working away from home.
Did he say that?
No, he didn't say anything. He offered to help, he helped, that was it. He was totally innocent.
Lurking with no food on his tray at kids' tea time, just ready to leap into action.
Look, we don't know.
Look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Look,
to...
it's fine, it's fine. Joshua seemed fine.
Yeah, of course he was. He was his usual happy little self.
Okay, well, that's fine then. Next time, it'd be better if you took him yourself. He's still little and you think the world is full of helpful people, but believe me, Mum, there's some evil shits out there.
Our next extract is from Jonestown by Kelly Smith, which also has the issue of children at its heart. It's an uncompromising look at the lengths that separated parents will go to secure the loyalty and love of their child.
Jonestown is about Joe and Anne, who are separated, and they have a son called Alistair. And they both love Alistair very much, and it means a lot to them to be a really good parent. All communication between the two of them is broken down, and they begin to try to control him and have more influence over him. And I came across some research which was about parental alienation syndrome, when a separated parent attempts to alienate the child from the other parent. The idea of being brainwashed, and that in relation to the parent-child relationship when it is abused. I suppose I wanted to see how far a parent might go in order to fight for the loyalty of that child and to gain the loyalty of that child. It's something that I wanted to write about for a long time, and it's a subject matter that's always been really close to my heart. And I just haven't been able to find the right story in which to tell it. Probably becoming a mum myself helped a lot with that, and then I thought, actually, I could write this story now.
So, what do you think? What do you think? Joe?
Well?
Well, we'd like the work completed before it starts getting cold. Now, as you can see, this isn't a rash decision. You know, I was working it out. I've been at the leisure centre for 15 years, since I was 16, Joe. I do a shitty care job to make up the hours. You know, I did a whole nutritionist course too, but I bet you didn't know that. I got an MVQ and I sent out 34 applications, none of which even got me an interview. Rest of the time I take care of Alistair. That's all I do. You know, I look at my life sometimes. But I've met someone. I've met a good man, and he makes me think that things are possible again, and I so fucking need that. And I am so fucking scared that you're going to, you and me, love it or hate it. We can either destroy each other or... And I'm trying to let go of anger. I've met some people. They're all into this positive energy. Peter and me, we're really into it. Meditation, it helps. I want you to meet a nice girl. I want you to be happy. And I know that might surprise you, but we should want each other to be happy, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we?
I'd like to take him away.
What?
Ali, I'd like to take him away this weekend.
Okay.
I think it'd do us good. We need to spend some time together before you make the move.
Well, take him where?
Oh, I want to take him camping.
You know, I drove past your warehouse the other day and it was all closed
It'd
up.
just be for one night.
Your dad is really worried about you. He's ill, Joe. And I don't want to be the reason why you don't talk to him.
I didn't talk to him
Yeah,
before.
but you made him ill.
Can I have Ali or not?
What have you done to your hand?
Well, I told you. Got it caught in a car boot.
You know, Alistair feels really worried, actually, about staying at your place.
I said I'd like to take him away somewhere.
He said one of your housemates blew smoke in his face. I am not happy about it!
No one blew smoke.
Oh, so you're calling him a liar?
No.
Because we've had issues with this
I'm
before.
just saying.
You know, you need to stick by him.
No, they're not like
sometimes.
that.
Oh, so you believe some scuzzy student?
I'm telling you, it didn't happen.
Ali feels like he can't talk to you.
Well, I'm not surprised I haven't seen him in weeks.
No, and why is that?
Look, I'm just asking for one weekend. I'll give you the address of the campsite and call as soon as we get there. You know, I think I'm being really reasonable, considering you're taking away my son.
But I'm not taking him away! You know, I didn't have to tell you anything, actually. I could have just left. Oh, you always get me so worked up. 5 minutes. How do you do that?
And our final extract is from Chloe Todd Fordham's Sound of Silence, a play that explores the consequences of humans being denied access to music and how music can be a vital, sorry, I can't read writing, sorry, a vital weapon against fundamentalism.
So The Sound of Silence is a play about music, and it's also about music being silenced. I think I ask the audience to consider music, but in perhaps a more broad sense, art as a human right. But I guess the central journey in the play, maybe even the central character, is actually a musical instrument. A ngoni, which is a stringed instrument from Mali, a traditional Mali instrument, and it's passed down and exchanges hands with all of these characters. For some of the characters in the play, it's a weapon. For others, it's a ticking time bomb. It's a gift, it's a souvenir, it's an antidepressant. As it exchanges hands with those characters, it brings up the central kind of themes of the play, which is this conflict between music, or more broadly art, and the silencing of that music.
Who did this to you?
School kids.
School kids?
Madra school kids.
What did you do?
What do you mean?
Well, you must have done something.
Didn't do nothing. Just walking along and out of nowhere.
What, and then they followed you?
And then they chased me.
All the way to the shop?
All the way to the shop.
And they're outside waiting for you?
Yes.
School children?
Okay. I'll tell you who's out there if you tell me why you're a white woman who knows what a tin day is.
You go first.
It's my mate Mo.
And what does he want?
To kill me.
Your mate wants to kill you?
Oh yeah, it's a family thing.
He wants to kill you?
Well, no, he doesn't want to kill me. He just thinks he does. He's just a bit angry right now, you know, about what's happening.
What's happening?
What, don't you watch the news? He thinks I'm a... I don't matter.
He cut you?
It's just a scratch.
Yeah, well, I should call the police.
No.
Why not?
Because I don't have his papers and it's worse for him back home. Please. Please don't call the police.
He wants to kill you?
No, he just needs to chill out. 5 minutes, trust. Your turn.
My daughter was at the Festival au Désert in 2009.
2009? I was silly for Mariam.
Yeah,
They opened with Goldie Fowler.
you were there.
Watch the whole thing on telly. She have a good time?
She got a heat stroke.
That'll be the white skin. Better be careful.
She died.
Of heat stroke?
Yeah,
Didn't know that could happen.
neither did I. He won't really kill you, will he?
Oh, nah. Back here tomorrow with my CV, trust. How much is Ngoni?
It's not for sale.
It looks old.
It's 15th century.
Do you play?
No.
Your daughter?
Well, she's got a grade 2, but she didn't get any further. Do you play?
Well, a bit. My mate Modo, he can play. Fuck me, he can play. Can't do nothing with a knife, but give him an Ngoni or a Tinde. Takes you home, you know? What this sound makes you feel. He's right, you know? To be angry.
At you?
No.
Who?
My people. Do you think they're happy or sad?
Don't know.
It's not much of a life, is it? Hanging by your neck by a music shop, never been sold, too fucking old to be played, not even allowed to listen to some Debussy.
Does that still hurt?
A bit. You ever tried to play it?
No.
You know, in Gale, my people catch you one of them, cut off your fingers.
What are you doing?
For the jihadists?
No.
Well, don't be so fucking...
Put it down.
It's just a fucking guitar!
I said put it down!
Oh!
Get out of my shop.
Well, thank you to all the actors for performing those 10 tantalising tasters. I don't know about you, but I was definitely left wanting more. So, those are our 10 shortlisted plays and their writers whose identities have finally been revealed after months of secrecy. Now, as we approach the announcement of the winner, I would like to introduce Michael Oglesby, Chairman of Bruntwood and member of the judging panel, to say a few words.
Thank you. Wasn't that amazing? I mean, wasn't it absolutely fantastic? It's one thing to read them, but it's quite something else to actually see them being performed. And it makes you want to see the rest, doesn't it? It absolutely does. You feel, gosh, that would be really great. But the task we had last night was really daunting. I mean, how do you choose from those 10 plays? I mean, it really was excruciatingly difficult. I think I've sat on the panel for every competition so far, and this one was really tough, really hard work. In fact, we got to the stage where halfway through we really were stalemate. We'd got 5 on the table and we just couldn't agree. So in the end, I agreed, let's put another prize on the table. So in fact, excuse me, instead of being 4 prizes, they're going to be 5. And with the same amount of money for each, so we haven't just split the money. So that was really great, and I have to say, very special. We at Bruntwood are very proud of our partnership with the Royal Exchange in this venture. I use my words carefully, partnership, because there's a lot more than sponsorship. I really do feel that together we have created something very special, something that is quite unique in the theatre world, And we're, as I say, very proud of it. We're particularly proud of the fact it was made in Manchester as well. The fact that in this city, we understand the importance of the arts. We understand just how important they are to the lives of everybody in the city. As you probably know, we're going through a big devolution. I was going to say debate. It isn't more than a debate. It's about to become a reality at the moment. And believe you me, the people that are involved here really do understand that the arts is absolutely essential to our city. And a city without art and theatre in all its forms really is a dead city. And I think this competition shows that. It shows that this city really thinks about what really matters. It's great that you can put on the classics and all the great plays, but at the end of the day, without new playwriting, theatre will die. And the great thing is that here in this country, in the last year, we had 2,000 people who wrote a play and submitted it, and they've done so mostly, in fact, I'd say virtually every time, different people for the last 10 years. And frankly, I sincerely hope that this will go on for another 10 and 10 and 10, because it really is very special. It's very special to this city, it's very special to this theatre, and it's very special to my company as well. So we're delighted to be here and to be doing it. Just a few words of welcome to you all. I'm particularly pleased today to know that we have 10 previous winners here today. 10 winners who have won the prize in the past and have gone on to great things, have gone on, by and large, to become really playwrights. I'll never forget speaking to one of those winners when they turned to me and said, I can actually put playwright on my passport. And they meant it. It really, winning really did mean that difference. And that's great. And, you see some of the great plays. There was a play on here in the main house. In fact, this is what this circle is all about. Last week, written by a former winner, and it's wonderful. We had a former winner on the judging panel, and she played a very important part, I tell you, in that. So that's really great, and I'm delighted that you've come along today to share this day with us all. Just two other people. First of all, I did notice that sneaking is a term I can use about His Royal Highness Prince Edward. We're delighted to have you here today, sir. You are our royal patron. You've been a very keen supporter of the arts, very keen supporter of this theatre, so delighted to have you here. And just finally, to Nick Heitner, who everybody knows is the now former boss, or whatever he likes to, whatever the title was, of the National Theatre, who's now about to venture out with his own theatre. And that's a real risk. But risk is what the theatre's all about, isn't it? Risk is really what keeps the theatre alive. Risk is what our company likes to do, is if you don't take risks, you don't get anywhere in this life. And I'm delighted that these playwrights really have taken the risk, taken the plunge. So, you don't hear any more from me. You're desperate to hear who's won, when we open those envelopes. But I believe Nick is just going to say a few words next.
Yes, Nick.
Thank you, Mike. And Mike really did get us out of a hole yesterday when he so generously offered the 5th prize. But even to get down to 5 was extraordinarily tricky. It's been really exciting and really involving to read these 10 plays. All 10 of them have totally individual voices. They're really bold. They're really authentic in what they're writing about, urgent, fantastically thrilling, to be able to get to know 10 new playwrights, and in the context of this prize, to be able to acknowledge them. I'd like to pay tribute to my fellow judges. It was a long session, but a really valuable session. I think all of us would say that because we were all so enthused by all 10, and all of us with different favourites and different insights, I think we all found our minds being changed, or our minds being enlarged, about each play on the shortlist by the advocacy of at least one, very often more than one, of our fellow judges. So the 5 we've come up with, they represent a kind of a consensus that's based on a host of positive insights that have come from all 8 judges, all 8 of them coming from different points of view, but all 8 of them with different sensibilities and different ways of looking at the theatre. I also want, before I hand over to Bryony Lavery to tell us who the first winner is, to tip my hat to the actors. My mind was changed about kind of all of these plays by hearing what my fellow judges had to say about them. To see these 10 extracts being staged just reminds me something that I think we all know, being theatregoers ourselves already, which is that the script is only half the story. And I found out something new about each of the 10 plays, something I'd missed because of the talent and expertise of the actors who've just thrown themselves at them. So thank you very, very much for that. You were great.
Okay, so 5 prizes in all. Nick's going to come back and announce the first prize in a minute, but we've got the 4 judges' awards, and Bryony is going to come up and award the first one.
We've had lessons how to carry it. This play, when I read it, and I've read it again this morning for the 3rd time, turns me dark green with writerly envy. It's that good, I think. It's the most beautifully constructed ship of ideas and characters and wonderful scenes and politics and thoughts, and it's funny as well. I think it's going to get done everywhere, and I think young women actors are going to fight in the street to play the main part. I'm deeply honoured to present this to Kendall Fever for The Almighty Sometimes.
I'm so glad I was first so that I don't have to wait. I promise I'll be super quick, but this is my beauty queen moment, so I want to take advantage of it. First off, I just really wanted to thank my partner, Will, who continues to reassure me this play is incredible, despite the fact he's never read it. I want to thank my parents who are currently watching in Australia because of this incredible thing called the digital age. My dad once said to me, I hope you never become a writer, Kendall, because he was really worried about seeing himself reflected on the page. So I just want to say a special thank you to my mum and my dad for having the courage not to censor me, for seeing themselves in the moments of connection as well as the moments of disconnect, and allowing me to live 17,000 kilometres away from them because they know how much I love this incredible thing called theatre. And finally, thank you so much, Bruntwood and Manchester Exchange for this incredibly political thing, which is an act of intervention in the world of playwriting. I've been working in the UK for a long time now in the arts, and this is the first time I've ever been to an event as playwright, so thank you so much.
Great that we watched in Australia. I'm very excited by that. Okay, to make the second Judges Award, let me welcome onto the stage Vivian Frantzman, winner of the 2008 Bruntwood Prize for Playwriting.
Oh, okay. I'm really delighted to give this prize because I really love this play. It's warm and funny and strange and political, and it's full of really gorgeous detail, and I just think it's a really fine bit of writing. And I'm delighted to say it is How My Light Is Spent by Alan Harris.
Thank you. Thank you to Bruntwood and Manchester Royal Exchange. I really genuinely have nothing prepared for this eventuality, so I just want to say thanks to everyone who's helped me to write, and that's it. I've got no more to say, really. Thank you. Thank you.
And to make the next award, the playwright and actor, Mira Sayal.
I'm really delighted to present this award. I fell in love with this play from the moment that I read it. It leapt off the page and into my heart. It's epic in scale and ambition, yet really intimately written. It's bold without losing a sense of beautiful structure. It's so beautifully constructed. And most importantly, it's so painfully relevant at the moment. It explores all the urgent issues that affect us in our global village, how art and creativity are essential to our survival, our humanity, and our sanity when faced with oppression and fundamentalism. So I'm very delighted to present the Judges' Prize to a beautiful piece of work. It is The Sound of Silence by Chloe Todd-Forden.
Thank you so much. Like Alan, I didn't prepare anything for this eventuality, but I would just like to thank everyone who's supported me in this journey so far, who have extended a hand or given me a leg up. And I'd really like to thank my friends and my girlfriend who are sitting over here. You dig me out of the writing hole every time. I know I'm not the easiest person to be around while I'm writing, so thank you very much for your support. Thanks, everyone.
And to present the fourth special award, well, not special, but special because there are usually just 3 Judges Awards, I'd like to welcome Miranda Sawyer onto the stage.
Hello, I'm really excited to give this prize to this play because this play is something super special. It explodes from the page. When we talked about it in lots of different ways, but in the end, it did more than I think even the writer realises that it does. It's really bold, it's about the personal, and it's about politics, but it's also about time, how time kind of speeds up and slows down, and how that can affect your passions, how passions can eventually turn into apathy. This Judges' Prize goes to Parliament Square by James Fitz.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've not prepared anything at all, but yeah, sorry. Yeah, but yeah, I love this job so much, and something like this means like I get to do it, which is just the best gift that anyone can give. Just a few thanks, like my girlfriend, who's here, is always the most supportive person in the world. My agent, ditto, like I couldn't do without her, and my mum and dad, who have encouraged me right from the age of 5 when I wrote my first play about a load of animals in a barn or something. This means so much to me. Thank you very, very much. Cheers. Yeah.
And now, the moment we have been waiting for, the winner of the 2015 Bruntwood Prize for Playwriting. To announce that, let me welcome back Nick Hyman.
More than one of the plays that we read displayed a real compassion for lives that seem to have reached a dead end before they've begun. The winning play gets deeply involved with young people who, in lesser hands, wouldn't reach out to a larger audience. But it has such eloquence, such quiet craft, such dignity and such compassion that it becomes a play about love and even grace. It's a magnificent play that, without a trace of sentimentality, transforms small lives into magnificent lives. It's about lives on benefits and 0 hours, 0 hours contracts, and so it couldn't be more urgent, and it certainly couldn't be better written. And the play is Wishlist by Catherine Sobers. It's my great pleasure to invite His Royal Highness Prince Edward, the patron of the Royal Exchange, to present the prize to Catherine.
I do actually have a lot of people to thank because I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for a select group of people. I would like to thank, firstly, all of the judges for completely blowing my mind with this. I'd like to thank my boyfriend Phil, who's read about 17 drafts of this, and I keep asking him to read more and more and talk to me about tiny, small things, and he's always so helpful and patient with it. So thank you so much. I love you. I need to thank Melissa Dunn, who mentored me through writing this while I was doing it as my dissertation piece at Central Speech and Drama. I need to thank everyone there as well. I need to thank Davina Moss for having so many Skype breakfasts with me while I was redrafting it for submitting to this prize. And because this is a play about a difficult relationship between siblings, as well as my parents, I really, really need to thank my brother. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Catherine Soper and to all of our shortlisted playwrights this year who have given us a snapshot of the incredible playwriting talent that we have here in this country. I think it's something we can be truly proud of. As I mentioned at the beginning of today's ceremony, all of the winning plays will now enter into development at the Royal Exchange, and we look forward to seeing them on our stages and hopefully touring all over the country really soon. I'd just like to finally thank the judges, the actors, and everybody who helped bring today's event together. Most of all, we'd like to thank all the writers, all nearly 2,000 of them, who entered the competition this year. Thank you.